Given the alarming situation at the Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant in Ukraine, it's crucial to understand the gravity of the issue. The plant, the largest nuclear facility in Europe, contributes 20% of Ukraine's electricity. Since Russia's invasion, it has turned into a battleground. Russia controls the plant, posing questions about potential sabotage. Geographical context. Located upstream of the Dnipro River in southern Ukraine, the Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant is near critical geographical features, like the now-destroyed Kakhovka Dam and Kherson City. Plant layout. 6 reactors line the top of the facility, followed by buildings that treat radioactive waste. Spray ponds critical to cooling are located further down, with dry storage areas and backup diesel generators nearby. Nuclear operations. In simplified terms, nuclear power plants use controlled nuclear reactions to generate heat, which produces steam to power turbines that generate electricity. Potential risks. Kiev has raised concerns about Russia planning to sabotage the facility. However, experts argue that an incident here would likely not be as catastrophic as the Chernobyl disaster due to different reactor designs and safety protocols. NATO's dilemma. The situation complicates NATO's position, as Article 5's mutual defense clause could be invoked, yet the credibility of alerts about the plant are questioned due to past crying wolf scenarios. Understanding these facets is key to grasping the seriousness of the situation. Don't forget to engage with us by liking, subscribing, and leaving your comments below. Every new subscriber reportedly makes Putin's mustache twitch. Understanding the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant's operation and Russia's potential motivations for disruption is critical in assessing the situation. Nuclear plant operations. Uranium mining. Uranium is extracted from the ground, but only a small portion is usable. Enrichment. The uranium undergoes enrichment, concentrating the isotopes for nuclear reactions. Zaporizhzhia operates on 4.26% enriched uranium. Controlled reactions. Neutrons split enriched uranium, generating heat used to produce steam, which turns turbines, creating electricity. Cooling system. Continuous cool water flow maintains a stable reactor temperature. Spent fuel cooling. Post-power generation. Cool water circulates around spent fuel for safety. Russia's possible motivations. Russia may aim to disrupt operations due to pessimism over maintaining current territories. Similar to the Kakhovka Dam's breach, which allowed redeployment of troops, a disruption at Zaporizhzhia might serve Russia's tactical purposes. The worst-case scenario involves a scorched earth policy, employing explosives to create significant problems for Ukraine, akin to Iraq igniting Kuwait's oil wells, but with radiological consequences. Military maneuvers. Kiev has initiated an offensive, potentially aiming to surround the power plant if Russia's situation deteriorates. AEEA's role. The International Atomic Energy Agency, AEEA inspectors, present since September 2022, have found no evidence of planned sabotage by Russia. However, Russia denies them complete site access, notably to reactor rooftops where Ukraine alleges mines are located. This limits the IAEA's credibility, but raises questions about Russia's intentions. Chernobyl versus Zaporizhzhia. It's important to note that even if disrupted, Zaporizhzhia would not mirror Chernobyl's 1986 disaster due to different reactor designs and safety measures. However, the plant's importance to Ukraine's power grid cannot be underestimated. This complex situation raises significant concerns, amplified by Russia's refusal to grant full site access to IAEA inspectors. The uncertainty surrounding the plant adds to the overall tense atmosphere. Good news on Zaporizhzhia. Sabotage risks. No nuclear blast. The plant uses 4.26% enriched uranium, far less than the 90% required for a nuclear weapon, making an explosion equivalent to a nuclear bomb impossible. Cold shutdown. Unlike Chernobyl, where reactions fueled themselves, most of Zaporizhzhia's reactors are in a cold shutdown, ceasing electricity production. 2 reactors were in hot shutdown, allowing for potential future restart. One transitioned to cold shutdown in May 2023 amid concerns of sabotage. Reports conflict about the final reactor's status, but IAEA information leans towards it still being in a hot shutdown. This state prevents a runaway meltdown similar to Chernobyl. No graphite. Zaporizhzhia lacks the flammable graphite that exacerbated the Chernobyl disaster. Graphite is used as a moderator in reactors, but its absence here makes a Chernobyl-type catastrophe less likely. Significance of shutdown states: cold shutdown. Reactors stop electricity production. Fuel rods retain heat but require constant cooling. Hot shutdown. Reactors aren't producing electricity, but facilitate passive reactions that generate useful heat and allow for future full restarts. Current uncertainties. IAEA inspectors confirm most reactors are in cold shutdown, but there's confusion, possibly due to misinformation and misunderstanding of nuclear operations, about the final reactor's status. While sabotage at Zaporizhzhia would be serious, the plant's current status and design features make a disaster on the scale of Chernobyl unlikely. However, the ongoing conflict and information discrepancies do add an element of risk and uncertainty. Zaporizhzhia's built-in safety measures, containment structures. Unlike Chernobyl, Zaporizhzhia has concrete and metallic containment structures designed for significant impacts. These prevent unrestrained explosions. Cold shutdown. Most reactors are in cold shutdown, reducing radiation risk. The reactor possibly in hot shutdown raises concerns but is not as dire as one might expect. Target points and impacts. Waste and dry storage. Targeting could result in localized problems resembling DIY dirty bombs. Cooling ponds. Already shown to be resilient, they can be replenished with reserve systems or trucks. Backup generators. Disrupting them puts the plant on a single cooling system, starting a race against time to prevent meltdown. Russian intentions, unlikely to seek catastrophe. Restarting a reactor to cause a disaster would be too transparent and easier to accomplish with conventional weapons. Plausible scenarios. Placing explosives on containment structures or cooling systems would impair plant function without immediate environmental risks, possibly providing cover for a Russian withdrawal. Public risk analysis. The American Nuclear Society concludes public risks are low. Deliberate sabotage would be transparent to monitors, making it an unlikely choice for Russia, who has alternative, less risky approaches. Analytical summary. Zaporizhzhia has safety features that make a Chernobyl-scale disaster unlikely. Potential sabotage targets include waste storage, cooling ponds, and backup generators. However, the cold shutdown status of most reactors reduces the immediate risk of catastrophic radiation release. If Russia intends sabotage, they could opt for less drastic measures like disrupting a single system, thereby forcing Ukraine to divert resources to address the issue. This could serve as a cover for Russian troops to withdraw. The situation, while serious, is less dire than it could be, partially due to built-in safety measures and the reactor's current shutdown state. Overall, the risks to the public are considered low. Article 5 concerns geographical implications. Zaporizhzhia is close to NATO countries like Romania, Bulgaria, and Turkey. Weather factors like wind and rain make it difficult to predict radiation drift. NATO response. Article 5 doesn't specify actions but would likely lead to a NATO convening. Responses could range from weapon support to kinetic retaliation against responsible units, each with different escalation risks. The crying wolf problem. Trust and credibility. Ukrainian warnings of an impending attack could erode trust if not actualized, possibly enabling future Russian actions without challenge. Conclusion. The risks of a large-scale disaster at Zaporizhzhia are considered low by experts. However, any radioactive leak could pose a risk to nearby NATO countries, potentially triggering Article 5. The situation is further complicated by the credibility issues associated with issuing and acting on warnings. We must evaluate information carefully to navigate this complex issue. In this complex situation, while the American Nuclear Society rates the risk of a significant disaster as low, the international implications involving NATO and the trust factor with Ukraine's warnings cannot be overlooked. The risk of invoking Article 5 and its following consequences add another layer of complexity that needs to be closely considered. The ultimate actions would depend on the collective will of NATO member states. Therefore, it is crucial to evaluate the dynamic factors and possible consequences carefully. I hope you found this video informative. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe for more content. Your support is invaluable. Stay tuned for the next video and take care.